welcome to week 52 of Reselling Full-Time in Australia. My name is Michaela, and if you're new around here, we find items at op shops, garage sales, side of the road during hard rubbish collection, and we flip them online for a profit to keep those items out of landfill a little bit longer and help make sustainable options available to more people. We also talk about some eco-friendly business tips along the way. So if this is interesting to you, then hit that like button and subscribe to see more. It is Monday morning, but before we get into what I've already accomplished by 9:30, let's go and check out what sold over the weekend. It is Sunday night, so let's go through what sold over the last 3 days. Starting off with this top one, it's just a little robe wrap with the little tie there, from a Byron Bay boutique. That went for $35 plus postage. A very nice fit and flare vintage dress. This went for $35 plus postage. A cute little Q dress, and again, this went for $35 plus postage. This dress went for super quick. I think it was only listed for 2 days. It went for $30 plus postage. It's a Leona Edmiston dress, and this pattern I was unsure of, and usually then if I'm unsure of a piece, it'll go one of two ways. It'll sell really fast or it'll sit for a really long time, and I'm glad that this unique piece was loved by someone new and it's heading out the door. There are 3 sets of lanterns going out, which I'm really happy about. These big bundles going out together. They went for, each bundle went for $9 plus postage. I think 2 of them are the same buyer and then 1 second buyer. These nice little Whitner flats went for $32 plus postage. This really retro set of barbecue tools went for $18 plus postage. This vintage picture Bible, this went for $29 free shipping. A bundle of vintage fabric offcuts, so really great for patchworking. This went for $34 including postage. So this morning I've jumped into a few odd jobs just to tidy up over the weekend. So I had an item where the buyer didn't pay after 4 days, and so eBay automatically cancels that item. So I had to go in and I sell similar on those items. I don't usually relist items. I like to refresh that and make it a new listing. So I've done that. Another thing I had to do was jump onto eBay chat because I had a buyer pay for multiple items, but they selected local pickup as the postage option, and then it didn't cover the full amount of the postage cost. So I had to jump onto eBay chat and work out how to charge them extra. So it's a bit fiddly, like I can't send them an invoice after the fact of payment. I had to cancel one of those items, relist it. I've then messaged the buyer to repurchase that item with the correct postage amount. So it's a bit fiddly. Hopefully the buyer's okay with that. Everything's packaged up, ready to go. So it'll be sent as soon as they pay for it. So for the rest of the day, there are 2 main things on my to-do list. I need to edit the YouTube video for week 46. That's number 1. So get it edited in the morning, and then while it's exporting and then uploading, I can do step 2, which is I need to photograph all of the items that I currently have in my stockpile, which isn't very much, and it should be enough to get me through today, and then list them either tonight or tomorrow morning, and then go op shopping tomorrow. So let's get into it.
Stacked. You can whisper behind my back. You can show me how the odds are up against me all day long. But I've been through the fire and come out alive, and there's no more fear in my eyes.
something else today is that it is finally sunny outside. It has been raining all of last week, and it feels like it just has been raining nearly every second day for like the last 3 months. So I just wanted to show you some updates in our garden. My second pineapple here is growing quite well, and now that it's in a really sunny spot, it's got some fresh soil, it gets the rain here. I think it's going to be developing a lot faster now. This little spot here is actually started to change color in the last couple of days, so it might be ripening up here now. Fingers crossed, we'll just have to wait and see. Yesterday we moved Bailey's Bailey's poo bucket was here. We pulled it out, tipped it over, and it had all of this fresh, rich, nutrient dense soil in the bottom, and that bottom part doesn't smell once it's all composted and processed. So that got flipped over, and then we've started a new one. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, we compost all of Bailey's poo in this garden bed. We don't use this garden bed for anything else. If you are going to compost dog or cat poo, then you need to make sure it's not near anything productive. No fruits, no vegetables, no flowers that you're going to cut and bring inside. A lot of viruses and pathogens can be passed on through the soil into those plants, and that can be very, very dangerous. So this garden bed is purely for composting poo. We don't do anything else with it. Yeah, starting this new bucket, we'll probably buy a bag of worms, composting worms from Bunnings, pop that in with just some general sort of food waste, cardboard, and then start putting the poo in there as well, and that'll all just work as a nice little worm farm. And we change this bucket over into a new hole sort of every 3 to 4 months. And then my pumpkin vine over there is doing very well. It's very healthy and happy and growing very well, and it actually grew all the way past the banana tree, past these lily pillies, and then it's growing up over this fence now. And 2 weeks ago I got a male flower, and I went around to all the female flowers and manually fertilized those, and then I discovered we've got a pumpkin. So this is one that I fertilized either 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it's going to be really good here on the fence because it's not going to get wet bottom. It's not sitting on anything damp. So yeah, really happy with how this has worked out. Actually, growing on the fence is perfect. We popped in some native violets just before all of the massive amount of rain, and they have absolutely loved it and just exploded. So I'm really happy we put those in because they'll just grow in amongst everything else. And Bailey is loving the sun too. My little sun baby having a little sunbake. Such a lady. And of course my compost is doing it very well. We've had a lot in here. I haven't added to it for probably 3 weeks now because I really need all of this just to start breaking down and turning into really rich soil. And I've actually been burying any other compost waste that we're producing, just burying it in holes around the garden. I just need this to process for sort of the next 6 months to really get it to a nice healthy soil stage. Ginger plant here is doing amazing with its massive flower. And I do need to harvest this soon. I need to pull it out and actually check out the root in there. Avocado trees here that I potted up that had just grown out of our compost material. They're doing okay, not great. So I'll just keep an eye on them over the next few weeks, see if we can, keep them going. Put another violet in here, and again it is loving it. So we put these native violets in because they'll just grow as ground cover, which keeps all the nutrients, water, keeps it all in the soil, and it acts as sort of like this living mulch on top of the dirt. But then also these beautiful little flowers are great for attracting bees. So this is great in amongst everything, and it's a native, so even it's got all the good things going for it. And then at the back here we do have 2 tomato plants that have just absolutely gone wild. So there's new shoots coming up here, there's a new one here, there's a new one down here, and we're just letting it go. There's no real point just cutting it down or taking it out because I'm not doing anything else with this plot at the moment, and I'm just letting it go. But it is still flowering, lots and lots of flowers still coming out, and tomatoes. So we've got a couple of tomatoes here. This one's pretty ripe. And then I'll ripen this one on the kitchen bench. And 3 more down here. And banana plant is going really strong. Look at all of these big healthy leaves. We've got some new babies that we've planted on the weekend here. So this is our top deck. And last time I planted lettuces, we put them down there in that little veggie patch that I show you often. But for us, it's a really big walk all the way down there, and especially if it's raining or if it's muddy down here and we're wanting some lettuce leaves for our salad for dinner, it's a lot easier to have it here at the top of our deck where it's a lot more accessible. So we've planted them here. This is a miniature wicking pot, so it's actually got the reservoir down the bottom where the water is stored, which means a better water source for these veggies, and then also it's not wasting as much water as well. So we've got 2 different types of lettuce and coriander. I love coriander, and so we like putting that in lots of soups and curries. So they're our new little babies. And my little lavender plant has been loving the rain recently, and of course we've got another pineapple growing here. And then over on this side of the deck we've got a grass plant growing here, and we've got a rubber plant that we'll never plant, a couple of plants that I saved from the discount part in the nurseries, and then this gorgeous one is a redback ginger, and this is a native ginger plant that we've got growing here. I just like that it's nice and lush. It comes out with these blueberries that you can eat as well. Another wicking bed here, another wicking pot here, but this is our newest addition, which are some snow peas. So we've got them growing up this trellis. You can eat the young shoots of it like in a salad, but then you can also eat obviously the peas that grow from it. So we've got that. And then this is my native raspberry bush. It's very spiky. It did have some more buds come out late in the season, but they've dried up. They didn't get fertilized very well. So that's just doing its own little thing, and that grows like a vine as well. It is Tuesday, and today I went op shopping, which was wonderful. I really needed to go to get stock, and now it's just the afternoon and I have crashed so hard coming home on the drive. So I've made myself a shot of coffee and then I've made myself a fruit smoothie, and I'm gonna list now lying in the sun with my bestest bud next to me. Yeah, love you. It is Wednesday morning now, and last night I was absolutely exhausted, so I've ordered my postage with Sendle. So because it's done with a courier, I have to order it the day before for it to be picked up the next day. So I've processed the shipping labels and orders, but I actually need to package everything up now. So that is first on the list for this morning. Also sending off these R.M. Williams shoes today to get their resole done. So from today, which is the 6th of April, let's see how long it takes for them to be repaired and sent back to me, because then we can list them and do the rest of this experiment. Something else that's happening today is we're getting a skylight installed in our front lounge room. This lounge room is very dark, and we have to turn on about 3 sets of lights just to go in there and use that space. So that's a huge waste of energy. So we've invested a bit more. That upfront cost of paying for the solar tube instead of paying for electricity over a longer period of time, but it's all of the environmental costs that go along with it. So today we're getting that solar tube installed, and I'm so looking forward to how this space gets transformed, that we can actually use it more often and not be using so much electricity. And this is one of the huge benefits of working from home and working for myself, is I am here in the house while all of this is happening. My husband doesn't have to take any time off work or worry about anything, and the same for me. I'm just working around the people here doing their job, doing the tasks in between that I need to get my work done, and it's just lovely. I'm really glad that we've designed our lifestyle this way. I just wouldn't want it any other way. Let's break down week 52. The total amount of items that I listed across all platforms was 35. The total amount of sales for this week was 34. And the amount of resources that we diverted away from landfill and back into the circular economy, which is a combination of the secondhand items themselves and the reused packaging, was 42 kilograms.